So bringing about 100,000 worth of funding into our region to help food producers, which is greatly needed. So I'm really excited about that. Special, passion of mine. And then we are revitalizing the pitch that started this all when I began 2024 of August. It hadn't been done before, so I started with just a tabula rasa, blank slate, if you're familiar with psychology. And I didn't know, I thought, how am I going to do this? And I really dig the folks at Steam Distillery. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And we hosted a pitch there. And that was really an epic night. And Pete and Claudia, my life has changed because they presented. Ian and Lori, all of these folks were at that pitch night, and it was just kind of iconic. It got us started. So we're hosting another one at Steam to celebrate all of the success and things, and it's next Monday. And what is that, the 5th? I don't know, 3rd. I messed up my dates, and it's 5:30 to 7. So if you would like to join us, please do so. We'd love to have you. So today we have 2 presenters. I'm very, very excited. They have something so incredible, each of them, to present, and just some incredible journeys. So without further ado, John, would you join me on stage with Accendit Partners, please? All right, John. Okay, you're live.
Testing. Hello, everybody. So, most businesses leave money on the table. And what I'm going to share with you over the next 5 minutes is my journey of continuous improvement and how I help companies find the money. So my name is John Benson, and I just started Accendit Partners. So I started working in manufacturing when I was 16 years old. And since then, I've worked at companies 5 people large to 250,000 people. And a common theme for me was always looking for opportunities to improve. And I don't know what it is. It was something about when I was 16 and working in production and always wanted to build faster. And I just carried that through my entire career. I worked at jobs between 1 to 2 years. I would fix and improve, and then I would move on to the next job. And I always wanted to be an individual. I don't like to use the word consultant because I think the word consultant has a bad name. I want to come in and partner with people and help them fix and improve their processes. I'll age myself, nearly 40 years of working experience. I stated earlier, I worked in a lot of different industries, and I've really just super focused on continuous improvement. For the most part, it's largely a process or a system challenge. It's rarely a people problem, where a lot of people will say, or a lot of leaders will come in and want to fix or interchange or change the people within the system, but it's rarely the people. It's most often the process. Businesses grow. They don't have time to optimize or document the most optimal process, so they just hire people. You need to build more widgets. You need to deliver more services. What's the easy answer? Go hire. That goes against my nature. I like to optimize first and then hire the right people into the right environment. Most of the time, the leaders know that there's a challenge or a problem. They just don't have time to fix it. And then a lot of times, if they do go about hiring a consultant, the consultant will come in and write up a document or a proposal and tell them what needs to be fixed. And then many times the consultant leaves. So here's a specific example that I worked on quite a few years ago, probably 15 years ago or so. It was 2 companies that merged, and one had been around for 20, 30 years, and their process manuals were very, very thick and very, very precise. The other company was out of this guy's garage, and they had no process. They just kind of winged it. And so you're merging two distinct cultures, and there was quite a bit of a culture clash. And I wanted something in the middle. I like the right level of documentation and the right level of process that enables you to go faster, not to slow you down. And so what we did over the course of 9 to 12 months is we looked at all the product that we were selling, tried to figure out which ones we were profitable and not profitable. We then looked at the manufacturing process, completely redesigned the flow, and at the end of that period of time, we increased sales by roughly 45%. We increased gross margins, and we also increased productivity almost 50%. So what I follow is kind of a find it, fix it, prove it model, where go in, find where your pain points are, prioritize them to see which ones are most impactful and which ones you want to go after first. Work with the team to come up with solutions, implement the solutions, and then wait to see that there's results. You deliver actual results. So I like to be able to come into a company, partner with them, educate and train people, because at the end of the day, I want to leave, but I want to leave the company in a better place so that they can not only sustain results, but find more opportunities to fix and continuously improve for the lifetime of the company. So who I work with, I like working with smaller, medium-sized companies. People that are agile. I like to be able to go in on a Monday and fix something by Friday. I've worked at companies that are 250,000 people, and you work on something today and you present it 2 months from now, you get buy-in 2 months later, and maybe you see results a year from now. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm no longer looking for those opportunities. But it really requires like really high-level leadership to get the buy-in to really change the culture so you can really get the sustainable results. On the right-hand side, it's some of the companies that I'm talking to right now. One of them's a large cleaning company up in Washington. And when I reached out to him, he's like, no, I don't need any help. We got everything under control. So 30 minutes into the conversation with him, he's like, I got an account manager who's just killing it. He's getting deals, he's making sales. And then I have this other person who isn't performing as high, and he thinks this other account manager has some unfair advantage. And what I was talking to him about is your account manager that's killing it has a certain process that he's following to qualify potential customers. He asks them the right questions, and he engages them at the right level. That's his unfair advantage. He knows how to do it. So anyways, I won't go through all the opportunities here, but these are the type of companies that I'm talking to right now. The asks of how you guys can help me is introduction to owners or folks that know they need to improve and want to improve. And yeah, just get me in front of those folks. And then connection to referral partners. You may know somebody who knows somebody. That would be super helpful. And then there's some tools I created on this last slide here. The one on the left is just my contact card, so you can download it, and it'll add me as a contact in your phone. The middle one is I call Lean IQ, so Lean Six Sigma. And it walks you through 15 different questions about the different wastes and processes. And it helps you identify where your pain points may be. And then it'll help you prioritize. And then there's metrics and action items and so forth. So that's a free tool. I'd love it if you guys used it and gave me feedback. And then the last one is what I call V2R, vision to result. So it's what's the vision for the company, and then what your objectives are, and then what your results or metrics want to be. And so you're able to track them in this tool. The next tab is a CRM. It's where I track all my potential clients. So it's my own kind of homegrown CRM tool. And then on the last tab in that tool, it's a list of where I track all the networking events that I do. And so both of those tools are absolutely free. If you use them and send me feedback, it would be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo! Thank you, thank you. That's awesome. So we will open it up. Oh, nice. Yeah, I love it. Take it, the lead for questions.
Hi. That was, your explanation of what you do is a little bit ambiguous. Could you give us some examples of what you change when you work on those processes or systems?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you an example of when I was at a tech company recently, and we were building new regions for, it was Microsoft. We'd build new regions for Azure, their cloud services in different countries. And when I came in, it was taking them 18 months. And this was just the software, not the physical components of the data centers. And so when the physical data center comes on board, we start deploying services on all the servers and the hardware. So it was 18 months when we started the software build to when we had our customers use it private preview. And it was like 4 services that we would launch. And so what I went in is I started asking questions of why does it take so long? What are the issues? And so I'd break down the process into more manageable chunks. It was a super complex process. And so what we did as a team is we built it out to a very simple process so everybody in the organization could understand it. And then we started understanding where the wastes were in the process. Our biggest waste in that process was it was wait time between different teams, and also quality. So a software team would do their work, they'd hand it off to a downstream team and it would break. Then there was this constant back and forth. And so when I interviewed him, I said, how long will it take if there's perfect quality, no gaps between handoffs? And we figured we could actually build a new region in like 20 to 30 days. So I said, okay, let me give you buffer. So I added a buffer to that. And our target was 60 days. And so we took it from 180 days to 65 days before I left. But it's really breaking down the process, understanding the process, figure out where the wastes are, and then eliminating the waste.
Do you ever have employees that really want something?
Hello, there you are.
Do you ever have employees that really want something done and they've told their boss, but the boss won't listen to them?
Oh.
But then you tell them as a consultant and they go, oh, brilliant idea.
Yeah, I worked at Honeywell years ago, and I was a production planner at the time, and we were building these aerospace products, and I would go in as a new production planner, and they'd say that we've complained to leadership for years that nothing gets done. And so I'm like, okay, so let's start a meeting. We called it customer dissatisfaction meeting. And we invited every business unit, supply chain, everybody that contributed to our role. And then they were like, well, that's not a great name. You need to change the name. It's like, no, as customers, internal customers, we were dissatisfied with the service you were providing. And so over the course of a year, we got a ton of visibility. We ended up improving what we called a quality metric called roll throughput yield. It was in the teens. We got it up to above 90% quality. Increased throughput. We remodeled the master scheduling system and reduced inventory. We increased inventory turns. We doubled them over that period of time. So yeah, a lot of people don't want to, unfortunately, don't listen. And there needs to be some level of leadership, I guess, step in and make it feel more important for some reason.
Does it increase morale when they feel listened to?
Oh yeah, they loved it. And the team was so proud because they got no visibility, and now they were one of the highest performing production teams there. So they were super excited.
I have another question before I give it out to this person right here. Oops, sorry. You're saying a lot of great things that corporate world hears all the time. But for our foots on the ground, boots on the ground people, how are you completely different than that? Because I can hear how you left that to build this, right? And you're saying all the same specific things that would be sold, but like, how much?
So I think the difference for me is I've delivered results. I have 40 years of delivering results. I don't leave until results are proven, because I don't believe in just going in and saying, hey, your process is inefficient, you should go change these 5 things. Good luck. Here's the manual. No, I want to stay until it's improved. For me, it's all about execution. It's all about results.
And I agree with that because ChatGPT can write the manual for you, but if you can't prove the results,
Right.
nothing else matters.
Well, and that's the thing is, that's why I created these tools and just offer them for free, because anybody in this room could go use this tool or create their own, for a matter of fact, and go do it. But there's just something about somebody being there with the confidence to know you can deliver. I have no doubt I can deliver. Like zero.
Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, sorry if I'm heading out
No.
this, but I actually was originally, for the first 5 seconds, like, I could do this, right?
Yes.
But I'd much rather have someone that knows what they're doing.
Well, the thing is, I want somebody in the organization that wants to do it. They may not have the experience, because then I can come in, work side by side with you. I leave, and then maybe we meet once a month for an hour, and you ask me questions, and I make sure you're on track, hold you accountable if needed. But I guess that's my whole premise. Success is, to me, is that I leave and you guys continue to be successful or more successful.
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to point out. Yeah. I also have one more question before we close up.
So I don't think all people are really familiar with the lingo of Lean Six Sigma and a black belt business and all of that. And you want referral partners and connections. What are regular people going to hear at the coffee shop, at dinner, or when they're besties, like bitching over a beer? What are they going to hear out of the mouths of people that make them want to, like, oh, I know a guy who could help with that?
Yeah, and I don't like to lead with Six Sigma tools, and I won't talk to people about them.
You talk to us a lot about them. But if you would say, what are the regular words that regular humans are going to say that makes us think of you?
If you're in a high growth company and you're hiring people, maybe if you optimize process, you don't have to hire people. If you're in a company that would like to improve their margins and maybe growing, I can come in and help increase and improve your margins.
All right. Are we good? How'd you do? You did great. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. Oops, sorry. Oh, no, I was transitioning. I forgot the best part.
John, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the presentation. Also, so I did have a question. I want to talk to you a little bit more. One of the questions I have is the difference, like why you choose not to embrace consulting as a term. You feel like there's a stigmatism to consulting, and do you think it's what you do is actually different than consulting?
I guess for me, and I was answering the question here, is I don't want to be the typical consultant that writes the proposal or the doc and say, here's how you improve and good luck with you. I want to stay with you until results are delivered. Success to me is when results are delivered and you're happy. And I think sometimes consultants will just come in and talk, and I want to deliver and execute.
Get your hands dirty, get in it, and do some of the work. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So there is some consulting early on to figure out if there's a fit, and then there's effectively like a form of a partnership. Yeah. Awesome. Big hand for John. Thank you so much. We have one more for you today, so stay tuned, and it's going to be a fun one. We've got Chili Goose coming up, so do not leave. Go get yourself some coffee, slap some high fives. We'll be right back with you. All righty. We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Are you all ready? Woo, fantastic. Thank you so much. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the stage. We have Chili Goose here. We have Logan and Sam.
Hi. Hello. So I am Sam Thornburg.
I'm Logan Roberts.
Just a little bit of a background on us. We are from Southwest Florida, and we moved here a couple years ago. We brought our 4 kids. We were kind of just looking, that's them. We were kind of just looking for a way to upend our lives, and we successfully did. That's our first Halloween, and we all dressed as bears because we really like Grants Pass. Okay. Why does it say? Yeah, so we started Chili Goose in October of 2025. It was a bit of a mad dash to get ready for Art Along the Rogue. That was our opening weekend. So what is Chili Goose? So we make handcrafted popsicles with honest ingredients. So it's exactly what it sounds like. Any popsicle you've had from Chili Goose was handcrafted by me in our pop shop kitchen on 8th Street. We're sandwiched between Nada Bar Noodle House and the Hall, right across from Wonderbur. Everything is made from real ingredients, sweetened naturally with the sugars from the fruit, agave, honey, or maple syrup. And we're very transparent about what's in every single pop that we have. Also, a fun part of the business is that because everything is small batch, we make them in 40 popsicle batches.
Currently.
Currently, yes. We'll talk about that later. We get to rotate our flavors regularly. We get to try all different things. Where'd you go? Okay. Where were you? Oh, yeah. So we rotate our flavors regularly. So if you ever want something and you don't see it, let me know. I can freeze pretty much anything that's not alcohol. Okay. So here are a couple of our flavors that we have. And then, please stop.
Got slides, let's go.
So we've got mango orange, which is truly mango puree, freshly squeezed orange juice, lime, and agave. For the cucumber melon, I'm truly in the back kitchen peeling and juicing cucumbers, 20 cucumbers at a time, honeydew melon, pink lemonade. We've got strawberry, lemon, and agave, and we just throw it in the molds. And then we've also got one other type of flavor. So what you saw in our previous flavors are the standard ice pops, what you think of as like a true popsicle. But we also have a line of Goose bars, which are a creamy, more decadent version, still in popsicle form. But we've got stuff like root beer float, like a creamy fudgesicle, key lime pie, cinnamon toast crunch. And these are all dairy-free. And they're made with a base of solid coconut cream and oat milk, and then whatever sweetener and flavor goes with the flavor profile. So that kind of hops into some of our core values as a business. So one of my main things is I want Chili Goose to be inclusive. So like I said, dairy-free. We avoid pretty much every allergen. It's all vegan outside of the grapefruit has honey in it right now. I want anyone who wants a popsicle to have a popsicle. I want the 2-year-old with strict parents to have one. I want someone who's lactose intolerant to have one. We very specifically set the pricing. Like I said, I have 4 kids. I would like a family of 5 to be able to walk in and leave for $20. So that's probably my number one. Another one, thank you. Another one is sustainability, just in my everyday life as well, that just kind of floods into Chili Goose. So our packaging is all sustainable. It's biodegradable, that kind of stuff. And then also community. So we feel very strongly about participating in the community, but also creating community. We've been doing community fundraisers, school events. Both of us are in the Main Street Grants Pass. Woo! Subcommittees. We've started partnering with Crash and CMAC and local artists. We do concerts in the parklet every week, so we've got a little parklet out front. Yeah, you can show that guy now. So we've had this is a couple weeks ago. We've had a couple artists come through. So yeah, those are kind of our 3 big things that we really like to think through every time we make a decision, and just do little checks, make sure that we're following what's important to us. And then on this next one, I just thought it would be fun for you guys to see what it's like for me to make a popsicle. And that's it. Okay.
All right, so that's production. So Sam, like she mentioned, she handles all of our production. Any bar that's ever been eaten out of Chili Goose, she made, because if I do it, it's gonna mess up. I don't know why. It's just how it is.
Every single time.
Every time. I don't know. My background personally is in tech, so very similar to what John was talking about. I spent 20 years in that world doing project management, strategic consulting. Got really tired of it, left, started a brewery, scaled that, sold that, went back, and here I am again. So this is my 4th venture. A couple of them sold, a couple of them didn't. You know, that's kind of how it goes. But here in Grants Pass, Chili Goose seems to be one of the only places, this seems to be one of the only places Chili Goose could actually launch in. So right now you can find us at the Pop Shop on H Street, which is our storefront, full commercial kitchen, our hangout, our second home, probably there if it's daylight. We have local markets, so we're in the growers market weekly now. Thank you, Key. I don't see her here, but she has pulled us into that. So we are branching out into that, as well as community events. We've done Boys and Girls Club events. We've got another one coming up next weekend with OFA. We've got a bunch of those out in the world, as well as online. So online ordering is coming soon in the next couple of months. So all that to say, we have a couple ways you can find us. One, you'll see this bicycle cart. If you haven't, that's my daughter running the cart out front at one of the more recent events. Here we are at Christmas time. We got the storefront lit up. Really, those carts are kind of the key to the whole thing. So let me just pull it over here. We have some unique challenges. We are not a dessert shop, even though it might sound like it. We are not an ice cream company. We don't make ice cream. There's a lot of things Chili Goose isn't. But what we are is we make popsicles, and we sell those popsicles to the public through a few different ways. Those carts, we hope to have 2 or 3 by the end of the summer. We're really in the prove it stage. We opened in December and immediately had a great month, and then it got cold. So that gave us 4-ish months for her to perfect the base on the Goose bars, for us to figure out how do we package and manage thousands of popsicles. Has anybody ever made a popsicle before at home? A few, right. Has anybody made 50 popsicles at home? Has anybody ever made 5,000? And then stored them and then sold them? Those are the types of problems we're answering now. And we knew going into this that this business is not sustainable at 5,000. But once we crack that 50,000 bar limit, things are looking really great. So how do we get to 50,000 bars? So we have some unique challenges, like I said, holding temperatures, freezing, supply chain. We're scaling right now. Right now, we are in the middle of scaling from 40 probably to almost 500 here, and pretty soon we're about to double the size of our machine, which is great. But like the guy said earlier, John, it's all about your process. At this point, if I had taken on every event that was thrown at me this year, we would have failed already. There's no way we can keep supply in. We just survived the boat knit weekend, barely, by intentionally not being present. We ran the numbers on it, and we would have had to make about 20,000 bars for this past weekend, which is fantastic, but we're not ready for that yet. Give us a year, we'll be back. Give us 2 years, you'll see carts on every street corner if I can have anything to do with it. But right now, we are really nailing these things down. Supply. All of our bars, like she said, are start as whole fruit. That's a lot of fruit, and we don't grow a lot of it here. So finding ways to get organic, fresh, non-molested fruit is really difficult. I don't know if you guys ever messed with coconut cream, but it is impossible to find unsweetened or undehydrated or something. We use whole coconut cream. So there's a lot of those types of things that we knew we were going to find, but we couldn't solve them at home, right? You can make 50 popsicles at home, but you can't make 5,000. You have to build a facility for that. You have to build processes and checklists and all of those things going into it. So for right now, some of our more unique challenges, I think for you, is coconut cream is number one. As we scale, supply chain. So we are deep into that. If you guys have any of those connections we're looking at, we are making phone calls, we are writing letters, we're figuring out where we can source these ingredients reliably, because once I commit to that boat next year, I gotta back it up. It means we've gotta have all of that product in hand in March, and we're gonna be prepping for it. So that's not something you can get at Safeway. You gotta be ordering by the pallet pretty soon. So we're scaling that up. Well, that's one of them. That's one of our unique challenges. There are only 2 of us right now. So we have all of the same problems and challenges every small business does: staffing, accounting, taxes, business administration, marketing, all of that stuff. But then how do we keep our product from melting? What happens if we have a power outage at our shop and all of our freezers go down? We don't have a walk-in yet. We're only in 450 square feet, which is very small, but we have another 500 or so we can expand into upstairs, which we'll be doing this summer. But what redundancy do we have in place for that? Because if we lose all of our bars in one weekend, we're dead in the water. So we are very much in the startup stage. Been here before, you grow out of it. But right now, our biggest bottleneck is consistency across the batches and scaling up. I want you to go get a root beer float, and 6 months later, you to get a root beer float, and then be the same. That's pretty critical if you're hitting the market. Wholesale is one of our long-term goals. We're not even looking there yet. There's so many other logistical hurdles to cross. But right now, we're taking a pretty good look at what does it take to grow into that. So Kim has talked a little bit about a co-packing space that's coming up. We've got some new incubator stuff here in town, a lot of support resources for that. Without me going out and getting another 6,000 square foot warehouse and fitting it out to make a production line, which I'm not doing yet, we feel like that's going to be a great stepping stone as we start to grow into the market. Right now, I think we're focused on making through the summer. We're going to prove the concept out. Like I said, I'm booked out through the end of September with our 1 cart, 1 mobile, and our storefront. That's a couple of events a week at the Parklet. That's every Saturday and Sunday and Friday. The cart's out in the world. I can't take on anymore yet, but next year I can. So as we solidify our process now, he's absolutely right. You can solve a lot of hiring problems by having good processes. Before we have to hire, we want those processes ready to hand off to the people that come in. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Any other things I need to mention at the moment that I haven't already? I'll flip her over there. So this is us. You can hit that QR code. That'll take you right to our info. You can get in touch that way. It takes you to our Instagram, but we both monitor it, send a message, send an email, come by the shop if you haven't been there. We've got music pretty frequently. I'm trying to think of the next big thing. We're everywhere this weekend. We're at Cartwright's. Come see us on Saturday. Growers Market on Saturday. I think that's about it. Any questions?
Can we give him a hand first? Was that amazing? That was so amazing. Thank you. Thank you. There's hands going up. We're ready. Let's see. We got one with Ian. Ian, thank you for.
I'm curious what your cost to make those is, including your labor.
Right now, we're the labor. So that's a great question. Margins are really good if you don't include our labor. So right now, cost of goods is less than a little bit less than 30% of the total cost. We're trying to keep that low. Obviously, labor included blows that up because of us, but we're not paying ourselves right now, so we're going to get through a little bit. That drives down at scale. So as we grow into larger batches, our costs go down. The labor itself is not very skilled, or I don't need a chef. I'm really bad at it, but she's really, really good at it and can write down instructions that with a little bit of training, we don't need super skilled labor to do this. But right now we're keeping that in-house, but we're a little less than 30% currently. We're targeting those margins as we grow. We'll see how it goes. We're very, very fortunate to have a location with a landlord who believes in us. Our rent is super cheap, and that really helps, and we're in a core spot of downtown, which really increases that visibility. We are, like I said, we could not do this in many other places, but yeah, we're about right there.
So you need to be about right there while you're paying yourself.
Yep.
And whether a family of 5 can get out the door for $20 is irrelevant to that.
No, it is. Right now, it's ingredient costs, our biggest one, because we're buying in small batches. I can't take on a 50-gallon drum of coconut cream, even though it would be a third the cost of smaller batches, because I have nowhere to store it and process it and get through that volume. 6 to 8 months from now, it's a different story. We're working on building that into that. We understand where that's at right now from a cost standpoint, for sure.
It sounds like you might need a co-packer space.
Eventually, we think so, yeah.
But also, one thing that I had in mind are things like edible flowers or other, local ingredients that you would like to include in that. Have you thought about that yet?
Absolutely. We actually talked to her a couple of weeks ago. So it is something we talk about. One of the things we're doing right now, it's still early in the season, so there's not a lot of fresh fruit coming available. The strawberries are starting to come into the markets and things. So as we go through the season, building some of those strategic partnerships. But there's a billion things we can do with these bars. I don't know if you guys have seen popsicles, but they're pretty versatile. We can dip them, we can coat them, we can put coating, we can put surprises inside. But right now, making a consistent pink lemonade popsicle that people are pleased with and sell, that's the goal. There's a lot of things that we could be doing to turn profit out of that store that aren't Chili Goose. I'll mention that. We could be an ice cream store. We could do soft serve. We could do froyo. We can do a million different things to make some more money out of that store, but that's not Chili Goose. Like I know that it's kind of hard to stay focused, but simplicity and focus at this early stage is what's going to allow us to scale. If I'm splitting focus all over trying to make the next big thing, something else is suffering. So we are intentionally staying tight. Go ahead. Not just yet. It is on our roadmap. We'd like to get to that. We'd love to have some local suppliers we buy contract with at the beginning of a season, so we're guaranteed fresh local produce. We're just not quite at that scale yet.
What is a chili goose?
It's a really cold bird that's been left out in the wintertime and should have flown south for winter. No, it's a play on silly goose. She came up with it.
Okay.
Hi. First of all, absolutely love your branding. Can't wait to take my kids here. Obsessed with
That's
all
all
of
her.
that. Also has the makings of being a national brand. So I love that you're keeping things like simple. Remember, simple scales, fancy fails, right? What do you need most immediate help with in growing this business?
She's going to say it's all product side. So it's definitely some supply. We are playing with the idea as we scale. Coconut cream is not easily procured at scale consistently, like I mentioned. I don't know if I can hammer that hard any harder. We've connected with a couple people from 1 Million Cups before that have been through not necessarily frozen food, but freeze-dried and trail foods, and they ended up figuring out that coconut cream is best made in-house from raw coconut at scale. So, which is a whole other process we have to look at, but they said it dropped their cost by nearly 40%. So we're looking at it, we're having trouble getting that consistent. So, I mean, it is very similar. When I started a brewery it's almost been 15 years, I'm getting old. I went in making 5 gallons at a time in my garage. And then we moved to 31 gallons at a time in our pilot system while I was building out an 8,000 square foot warehouse. And then we moved to 250 gallons. And eventually we had a 550 gallon system that we were running 4 times a week. And all of those were starting at square one. Every time you think you know what you're doing with it, it jumps, and it jumps size. So right now, I'd say consistent supply as we scale is a trick, because when we started, we could go to Safeway and buy the ingredients we want to test the flavors. You can't do that and make money. But you have to order in bulk, and we can't do that just yet. So we're going to make it through the summer as we are kind of strategically growing. We're growing every month about 350%, which is about more than I can handle once that spirals out of control. Thankfully, we are very seasonal, so we get to kind of regroup in the fall, in the winter. By November, December, we can kind of say, okay, let's see what worked, what didn't. As we're going through this, we're both agile, background, software development. We iterate on everything. This presentation may not look great, but it's probably been 18 different variations. So it's very much in our DNA to grow sustainably, grow controlled, and right now our biggest challenge is how to source some of these ingredients. I would say our biggest challenge is remembering to post on social media when I'm up on a ladder hanging shade sails and she's deep into juice and cucumbers. But that's an easy enough fix. Right now, we are intentionally not going hard on the marketing side because we're at capacity, and we're going to be here for a little bit. So, good problems.
Wow. Thank you. I was going to ask. I don't know if anyone Terry has a question on the, just on the supply chain piece. I know that's just a tough one for all of you that produce. So, I mean, what would it look like? Is it, like really as you're scaling, maybe people, you're bringing in revenue, and scaling is probably more challenging than most people think, because then you have that increase in cost to scale, and that. Is there an idea or something we could work on, and this could be for later, on how can we look at purchasing things in bulk and have a space to drop that off, so we could. I did this at my space, and it made a difference, but I just want to kind of hear both of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I've done something similar when we started the brewery itself. We partnered with a local homebrew store, another brewery, and my own, so we could go in on orders and save on bulk shipping. I had a loading dock and plenty of storage. I don't have those things. Everything comes in through the front door in my arms or on a dolly. Like we don't really it can't accept a big truck yet. So a co-packing facility where we could put a few different small businesses in a pool. Hey, we all need this ingredient. We all need some of this, and put a bulk order in as a group, and everybody pays their share, and a place to unload it would be invaluable for us right now. We understand we're not going to grow to be a national brand out of a 450 square foot storefront in downtown Grants Pass. Maybe, but reality is we need space, industrial space where we can pick up trucks. And eventually, if there was a space we could do that, we would be super interested.
Okay. All right, just a quick question. Have you thought about like an external freezer unit? I know that I've got a connection if that's something that you would be interested in for short-term rental.
Yeah, we've thought about it. Right now, with the space that we have on hand and the way we're turning, because we're pretty much making week before. We're selling out weekly of the stuff she's making for the events ahead. We're just kind of keeping it in cadence. Eventually, we will have excess supply that needs long-term storage. We have enough freezer space for probably 5,000 to 7,000 pieces at any given time once the upstairs finished out, and we have a few more of the freezers we use now. That's it. We're full. I'm not giving up my band room and the kids, like projector room where they hang out upstairs just yet. But yeah, an external off-site space, but then we get new problems, right? Because how do you get them from production facility to storage? Then you need cold transportation, refrigerated trucks. You need all of these things. They start stacking as the logistical problems grow. So we're very, very cautious about it, but it is something that we know, hey, by this time next year, we're going to be looking for freezer space, not refrigerated space, freezer space, cold ones, like -30. Alone? Oh, yeah. Unlikely. We're pretty tight on space up there. Yeah, it's not quite there.
Okay. Just curious about why Grants Pass, going from Southwest Florida to here. You said this is a special place where you can launch Chili Goose. What have you found that is special here, and what brought you here?
So we lived in Southwest Florida, and it had about 1 million people in the area, and it was just very anonymous. We both work in software development. I work in product management. I work remotely, and I didn't really see anybody ever. So we kind of just wanted to be part of the real world and, like I said, append our life and do something totally different. So we all worked remotely, and we all had this opportunity to move literally anywhere in the world we wanted. So we did a little bit of some recon online, and I actually spoke about it in front of in front of the mayor during the Visit Grants Pass thing. But we found Visit Grants Pass on Instagram. We kind of felt connected to Oregon. We did a road trip through here 8 years ago, probably. So we just liked it, I don't know. It's just the small town, the community. And we actually moved here sight unseen. Logan and I hadn't been here previously. We moved with his ex-wife, is also here. She is the mom of the older 3 kids, so we moved here as a family unit. So she and our oldest came and flew into Portland and got a little camper van and drove through down to Northern California and back up and stopped in all the little towns. And they called us and said, we're moving to Grants Pass. And we said, okay.
And we sold the house and bought a new one online and got here. So
Yeah.
Here we are.
The first time we saw our house was when we pulled in the first time. Yeah. So here we are.
Thanks. The best part.
Fantastic. Thank you. You got some fans in the
Look at that.
room.
We've met a lot of friends. in the
Well
last
done. Yeah,
little
well,
bit.
you make friends when you make popsicles. I mean, amazing. I one thing that I had an amazing experience the first time I walked in. Logan was there. And how many people have not been in their shop yet? Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's simple but fun. You're sort of immersed in the experience of being in Chili Goose. They did a fantastic job with the place. And it's always, every time I walk in, there's something new and different happening there. So the place is beautiful, is really fun. And then, yeah, like the experience of being able to try all of these different varieties is also awesome. But I wanted to acknowledge this though you are a married unit, which comes with its own fun experiences, starting a business together. There is this awesome diversity of role between the two of you, right? The creative and passion and driving forward just the product line itself and what the product is and the sort of experience here, and then the systems and structure and the ability to deliver on that vision as well. And I just think like that is a really cool combination you guys got between the two of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Big hand. Yeah, big hand. And thank you all as well. We are over time today, sorry, but thank you for hanging out. No, it's not your fault. We were running behind this morning. So thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. We will see you next week from 9:30 to 10:30 on Wednesday morning. Bring your friends.